Things out over at East Noble with a big matchup in the race for the Northeast 8 crown. It's undefeated East Noble clashing with undefeated Leo in our signature matchup. And the Knights ready to go for this pivotal matchup in their hunt for the NE8 title. Leo backed up in their own territory early as Titus Stoller calls his own number, tries to find a lane to run before he's taken down and loses the football, and the Knights recover a huge play to get possession in the red zone. East Noble looking to punch it in here as Riley Biddle hands it to Austin Phillips, and Phillips takes contact and tiptoes his way into the end zone, but the Knights up 7-0. Lions rolling now as Stoller stays in the pocket and rips one deep downfield to the outstretched arms of Luke Tackwell, who falls across the goal line for 6 to tie the ball game. East Noble back to work as Biddle looks and sends it deep downfield to a wide open Alexander Scott, who beat the defense and takes it to the house for the big time touchdown, as the Knights pick up a huge 56-40 win to stay undefeated.
And another big-time showdown in the Northeast 8 tonight. DeKalb hits the road to Columbia City, squaring off against the Eagles right on their home turf. Fans fired up as the Eagles student section's rocking out to Sandstorm. First quarter, Eli McCormick wastes no time, drops back, threads the needle, and hits Riley Baxter in stride. He takes it all the way for the distance, and it's a touchdown. Barons strike first, 7-0, but the Eagles answer right back. Quarterback Gabe McDermott drops a beauty to Gavin Smith, short of the goal line, but the very next play, McDevitt hands it off to Lucas Duncan, who powers his way in for 6. Eagles tie it up, and their student section celebrates with some push-ups. Second quarter now, McCormick fakes the handoff, launches a missile to Noah Spears, and he hauls it in and dives across the white line, and DeKalb is back in front 14-7. But after a back and forth in the first half, it's DeKalb who pulls away with the win, 28-7, the final.
And over at Lewis Field, the Knights fired up and hitting the turf as they host Northside. Opening kickoff, the game falls into the arms of Rory Kelly, and he takes off, looks for a lane, cuts and bursts through the defense, outraces a legend, and he is gone. Nothing but green grass in front of him as Kelly takes it the full length of the field to the house to put Lures up 7-0. Knights offense off to work now. The give here to Brandon Gaither. He makes some moves, splits 2 defenders, and gets a clear path right to the end zone as Lures takes a 14-0 lead. Legends need to respond as Jaden Rivers tosses it up deep, and Malik Moore comes down with it. He shakes his defender and waltzes his way in for the touchdown, but it's Lures that picks up the 31-28 win in double overtime. And former Steeler, Steiner grad, and Pro Football Hall of Famer Rod Woodson back in his hometown today to watch that clash between Bishop Lures and Northside. Woodson in town to see his nephew, senior Mikhail Woodson, play corner and free safety for the Knights, and cousin Leslie Woodson suit up for the Legends. For the football legend himself, being back in Fort Wayne and taking in the high school football atmosphere in the Hoosier State is always a blast.
To come out and see those guys play against each other, come back in town. It's always good. It's always good to come back home, get a little barbecue, a little cookout for the game. It's good to be with family. It's good to be with friends. It's good to come back to the Midwest, but that Friday Night Lights feel that Indiana gives you.
Woodson plans to be back in the Summit City in the summer for another year of his Hope Through football camp.
And Bishop Dwenger, coming out of halftime, warmed up against Homestead. The Saints quarterback Henry Jordan hands it off to Colin Campbell, and it looks like he's wrapped up, but no. Campbell bursts down the sideline to move the chains for a Saints first down. Next up, Houston Ellinger on the 4th and short. He keeps it to himself and pushes through the gap to dive for another first down. But on the very next drive, Jordan searching for a next move, but trouble for the Saints. Jordan is dragged down and the ball pops loose, and Homestead's Max Mann jumps on it for a Spartans takeaway. Spartans try to capitalize, but Logan Frieden finds Carter Kennedy. He hauls it in as fights for some yardage, but the Saints swarm and stop him in his tracks. In the end, Dwenger holds strong and walks away with this one over Homestead 15-3.
And a big student section over at Wayne rooting on the Generals. Wayne down 14-0 to Southside as Jace White dumps it off to Genoa King. And King goes to work. He keeps his legs moving to pick up a hard-fought first down. Generals unable to convert, and Southside on offense as Robert Murphy looks for a receiver, and he's brought down by Quishon Love for the sack. Wayne back to it as White winds up and launches deep down the sideline, and that will be hauled in by Elias Robertson for the interception in the final seconds of the first half. Archer's looking to strike before half as Murphy unloads a rocket of his own deep downfield, and that's into the arms of Tyree Eldridge for the Generals, but Southside picks up the win and a 46-0 final.
And it's homecoming at Snyder as they welcome in Carroll. Chargers' Gabe Frissinger drops back, finds Jaden Van Pelt, and watches him slip past some defenders, shift gears, and glide straight into the end zone. Carroll stacking it up 40-7. But the Panthers keep swinging. Jaywin Harris hands it off to Jordan Davis. He hits a wall, cuts right, and turns on the Jets to keep the drive alive. A few plays later, Davis again, this time spinning through some traffic and diving in to put in a score for Snyder and put some points on the board. Frissinger not done yet. This time he turns to Harrison Sheely to keep the ground game moving as he threw for 363 yards on the night. And the Chargers put a damper on a homecoming night, topping the Panthers 47-14.